So, welcome to the first edition of the Tribe Check-In. This is the CAU edition, and this is indeed a ripoff of the Girlfriends Check-In as seen on the OWN network. I am your host, Dominique Elon Tate-Williams. Those are all my names. I use all of them. And I will have to say Dominique Elon because everyone doesn't call me by the same name. So if you would, please introduce yourselves. In the pink, you girl.
Azizi Williams. Do I have to say more? That's enough, right?
No, that's fine. Okay, Khadijah.
A mess. Shawnette Young here.
Okay, soon to be Mrs.
I was gonna say.
Okay, good. And
Net
then,
Young Adams. I like it.
are you hyphenating?
Funny. Yes, I am. Really for
Okay.
business purposes.
Right.
You know,
Right.
everything
Yeah.
has Young on it, and I'll be it's not happening.
Exactly. Okay, and then you, Amina, down there in the corner.
Hi, I'm
Introduce yourself.
Chanel.
You are.
Hi, Mother Africa.
Okay. Okay, ladies, so can somebody say how we all know each other? I feel like it's the same answer, isn't it?
It is. Murder Hall
Yeah.
95.
Right.
Right.
So we all met in 1995 at Clark
Yes.
Atlanta University. Freshman year, we all lived in Murner Hall. And I calculated that was 25 years ago.
People in my
You
light
have to
out.
say it out loud though. Ooh.
I know. It don't feel anything like that. So actually Azizi and I were roommates for a little while. But I feel like I got closer to you, Chanel, and you, Shawnette, after college.
It was
Yeah.
after.
And I have no idea how or
I
why.
don't either. I don't know how it happened. The first, all I remember really is like we started going to homecoming together because we were both like anti-social kind of, but wanted to see. Remember we met up and we walked in there together, and then it just, I don't even know what made us call each other to do that, or I don't remember any of it.
Okay. How did you get to CAU? How did we all end up together in the same place? I can start because mine is quick. My older sister and my older cousin went to Clark. Well, first, let's start with A Different World, okay? So A Different World, and then my older sister and my cousin went to Clark. And I remember I had applied to UGA, and I was thinking about Spelman. My sister was like, Spelman? No, you need to go to Clark. But Spelman also, I couldn't be a business major there. I would have had to take classes at Clark anyway. And then when we would go and take my sister to school, this is when, Steagles was there, when the strip was open. And I just remembered like looking at everything like, oh, this is where I belong. I want this so bad. And then senior year or the summer before school started, my father was like, we need to have a talk because UGA had sent me a partial scholarship. And my daddy was like, you're going to have to go to UGA. And I was crying. I was like, I do not want to go there. I was like, please. Because when I went there for a minority weekend, and I knew it was a trick. I knew this is not what it looked like for real. I was like, I can't. But then
Still doesn't.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not stupid. I know they want us to feel comfortable and feel safe, but this is not how it's going to be. And so anyway, Clark came through with some money later. So that was my story, how I ended up there. So you go next, Z.
I had never heard of Clark Atlanta and had only came down for a college tour to visit Spelman. And when we got to Spelman, the presenters who were students literally had their noses in the air, like they were standing like this as they talked to us. And, we were all very fresh in New York. And one of the girls, on our tour was like, you want to know about the dance program? And they basically were trying to like minimize her interests and put her down. And so that was the first like bad taste in her mouth. And then we took a tour of the campus. It was like cloudy and rainy. And every campus that we visited on a tour, we would talk to students and say, how do you like going here? And they would give us the real, right? So we're stopping Spelman students, how do you like going here? And all of them would be like, 30% of the chicks are cool, you know, or like 20% of the chicks are cool. And I was like, dang, like that's a low percentage, you know? And so, and it was dreary and rainy, and it didn't feel like home. We're waiting for the guys to finish their tour at Morehouse. We ended up walking across the street to Clark, Atlanta. The first person I met was Tanya Mitchell-Cobb, who was Tanya Mitchell at the time of Delta. Yep. And, you know, she was like an OG, and she was a, you know, Clark Atlanta ambassador, and she was like full of energy. And I was like, how do you like going to Clark Atlanta? She was like, I love it, my Panther family. Like, what is that? And I was just like, oh. So we stopped because the guys were still on their tour, and they gave us an impromptu tour. And the sun came out, it stopped raining. Dr. Black was having a section on the lawn, you know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this is me. So interestingly, I applied to 8 schools, only 2 of them Black, Howard and Clark. Everybody gave me money except for Clark because I applied so late. But it was the one place I wanted to go. I got into Cornell. They gave me a partial scholarship. My family was calling from, they were calling from across the country. They were like, you gotta go. You don't get into Cornell and not go. And I was just like, I want to go to Clark Atlanta. Like, even though that, you know, so, I mean, I still would have had that. And Cornell was so expensive that even though they were giving me money, my parents probably would have still been paying 20 G's a year. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, I think I want to be around Black people. And so many of my family, they're all Aggies. I was like, they have careers and are happy in social circles and nice homes. And they went to HBCU. Like, why can't I have that experience and do well if they did it? So that's what I did. Best decision of my life.
And we were in the honors program together. I was like, oh, she cool and she's smart. Oh, I like her. Okay.
Fun times.
Chanel?
I had applied to a few schools. Same as Azizi, I had gone on a college tour back when I was in high school. And so I knew that I was, 1, getting the hell out of New Jersey. And 2, that's when like there were clear, distinct differences in seasons, and Atlanta was always nice and mild. And I remember being like, wherever I go, it cannot be colder than where I am right now. Like, I knew I didn't want to deal with that. And so then I did Syracuse, Spelman, Clark.
Syracuse? Is Syracuse?
Well, because Syracuse has such a good communications program.
Okay.
They had a good mass comm program.
Okay.
And so, and that's what I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to do something in mass communications. Like, for a long time, I thought I was going to be an entertainment lawyer. And so I was into that. And so Clark had such a dope program. And at that time, like, it was rocking. Like, it was some real key, solid people in the program.
Yeah.
You know, running the program. And
that's when like Whitman Mayo was there and all those. Yeah.
And so, so I chose Clark.
Good choice. Good decision. And you and Kelly grew up together.
Me and Kelly grew up together from 4 years old.
Because I saw that picture she posted of y'all at the science fair. Is that the science fair?
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
Mom posted it on Facebook, and Kelly must have swiped it from her and then reposted it. Because I was like, Mom, why would you?
It was good. It was good. I was like, this is like gold. This is great.
It was crazy. And what's even crazier is that we've never had a class reunion. I was the president of the senior class, right? So
it's your fault.
I was like, so I say all that to say, like, we're planning one now, like we're going to do it virtually. So some people had got together, and Kelly's like in the group or whatever, had got together. We're going to have like this whole big virtual reunion or whatever, but it'll be our first one. So when we got on the call, I was like, y'all never had one? And it's like, Chanel, no, the president
is supposed to plan it.
Like, I didn't know that. So you'd be like, I didn't know that.
Expect people to leave this place and every year put something together to come back. Who got time for that?
Not every year, just
like every 5. Like every 5.
Well, mine is super quick. Literally, when I say a different world, I mean a different world was the biggest influence. One, I had applied to University of Washington because at that time I went to high school in Seattle, and Howard and Clark, and it was because their mass comm program. True story. I have no idea how I was just so in love with people from Atlanta. I think at that time it was like Bobby Brown and Dominique Wilkins. Hello, I'm Atlanta. When all I know, I was like, okay, all these white people, I'm running full south. Because I grew up, right outside of Philly, so it was all mixed. But then going to high school, it was all white. I said, there's no way. So I knew it wasn't all female for me. Really, it was a comm program because it was the Olympics at that time. And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity. I'm going to tell you, I went on no college tour. Do you know the first time I stepped foot on campus was when we were coming for orientation?
Wow.
Me and my mom. Let me tell you how green. We walked through the courts, seeing big wheels and tricycles. I mean, not the courts, through the projects.
Yeah, the projects.
Thought they were student housing for students who had
kids.
Girl, when my mom found out they were the projects, she was on a plane to go home. When she was leaving, she was like, "Oh no, this ain't happening." And I begged. I was like, "Oh no, it's gonna be okay." And yes, so the plight for Clark.
And it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah,
it was more than so okay.
All the debt, all the whatever, best decision, like you said. And
absolutely.
I tell people all the time, like, I would not trade it. Ever. If I could do it again, I would. I was like, a few things that I would do over while I was at school. But for the most part, I stand by all of them wholeheartedly.
I wish I could just play a movie of like stuff that happened. Like, and just sit and watch it and giggle.
Hilarious.
Yes, it was just so good. Look how how Chanel looking off into the distance. It was just so good.
It was some good stuff.
It was.
And people think we be making stuff up. I said people think we make it up or like we're exaggerating. But I promise, I'm like,
literally.
That's what it is.
We ain't have no cable. We ain't have no air.
No cell phone. Look, nothing.
Right.
We were like the last of that group of people that really got the true, like, quintessential HBCU.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Experience. Yeah.
Old Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
We were like the last of that bunch.